What's up? Welcome into your daily Buckeye Blitz for a Wednesday, the humping day here between Christmas and New Year's, December 27th, 2023. Winding down, old 23. We're about tired of you, 23. All right. Appreciate you guys joining me once again. Want to remind you, Friday, we are going live. Game day. Friday is game day this week. Going live, 4:30 p.m. Eastern, YouTube Live. Check it out. We appreciate you popping in. Give me your scores and your predictions, what you think is going to happen, and we'll see if we can get Jeff and Sean on, and we'll do it. We'll do hopefully an hour-long show that day. Today, though, we're talking two deep. What's the Ohio State two deep look like for this matchup against Missouri in the Cotton Bowl? So let's start it off here. Right into the quarterbacks. Devin Brown, obviously, we heard all the latest news and notes and practice viewings and stuff like that. Devin Brown is your QB1. Then you got Lincoln Keenholz backing him up. Not sure how much we're going to see him. Probably will be competing with Brown for the starting job next fall. And then you got Tristan Gebbia. Don't forget about him. Still on the roster, even though he's been in college for like 30 years. He will be your QB3, and that's it. Those are the only scholarship quarterbacks we have. So in case of emergency, break Gebbia, right? So those are your quarterbacks. Hopefully, Devin Brown can get us out to a big lead. We can get Keenholz in there, get him maybe operate some of the normal offense, and get him some actual real snaps, real plays, real reps, in game. That'd be huge. Next up, running back. So it looks like Travion is not going to sit out. You do have T.C. Caffey added to the mix. He's still a walk-on, though, not a scholarship guy. So you got Travion, your starter. Then Dallin Hayden, of course. This does not affect his redshirt status because this is postseason. And then you got X-Man. I don't think, from what I've heard, X-Man has practiced at all with the running backs. So you're basically looking at, he's only practiced with the receivers so far. So you're looking at Trey, Dallin, T.C. Caffey. That's about it. I mean, you lost Chip. You lost Pryor. So Mayan is out with the season-ending knee injury. So that's it. I mean, hopefully nobody goes down. We're going to have to live with three, it looks like. Two and a half, So wide receiver. So it looks like Marv is not practicing at all. He just hasn't made that official announcement that he's opting out of the bowl game. He'll probably, be on the sidelines and everything with his teammates, but he's not practicing at all. He's on the fucking exercise bike and shit. So it looks like Emeka could slide outside to Marv's position. So that gives you Emeka, a starter. Then you got Carnell Tate, obviously going to slide in there for Julian Fleming. And then the slot, you got Xavier Johnson, and you're going to see a heavy dose of Brandon Inniss there too. But then, so behind Tate, you got Jaden Ballard, Kojo Antwi, those guys. And then behind Emeka, you got Noah Rogers. And then in the slot, you got X-Man and Brandon Inniss. You might see Bryson Rogers in the slot as well. So with a lot of these guys popping in the portal, it's going to be interesting to see who comes up, who steps up, who becomes that go-to guy. We haven't seen a lot from Carnell Tate this year, really, when you think about it. What's he had here? 239 snaps, but not a lot of catches and yards and stuff. So I like this receiver group. It's going to be interesting to see if this is a jumping off point for any of these guys like Inniss. Obviously this is X-Man's last game. Emeka sounds like he might come back. So does he make the permanent switch to the outside receiver position? Give him more diversity as a receiver. So going into next year, that will be interesting. And Jaden Ballard, is he going to make that next step and become a starter? So that is something to pay attention to, who gets into the game, in that 2D. Tight end, looks like Cade Stover's practicing with the team, so it looks like he's going to play in the Cotton Bowl, and so he'd be your starter. Then you got G. Scott. Hopefully Cade's healthy. I hate to see him go out there if he's not 100%, and risk, getting hurt and stuff. You got Jelani Thurman. Don't forget about him. So I got to think you got Cade, G, and Jelani Thurman. Again, this does not affect redshirt status. So that's why I think you could see Jelani. So I think you got to get him in there, get him some real reps against a real team here. And maybe we'll see more 12 personnel, who knows, to add a little more protection to the pass game. Left tackle, Josh Simmons. Obviously, nobody's really moved on here yet. You got Josh Simmons, Zen Maholsky, George Fitzpatrick. Then at guard, Donovan Jackson will be your usual starter. Tegra behind him. Severell probably mixing in there. At center, Carson Hinsman will still be your center. Matt Jones they talked about possibly getting some snaps for him, but we heard that at the end of the season, and it never really materialized at center. So I don't know why they would do it now. This is his last game, Matt Jones' last game. So he'll be playing right guard. And you got Enoch backing him up. Right tackle, Josh Fryer still there. Luke Montgomery, would like to see him get some serious reps. If they want to split time between those two, I really would like to see Luke Montgomery with some meaningful snaps there against Missouri's defense. Defensive side of the ball, we're kind of up in the air with JT and Jack returning and playing in this game, but they're both practicing with the team. So you have to assume Jack and JT are going to play. So we're just talking about the bowl game for now. So Jack, JT are your starters. Then you got Kenyatta Jackson and Caden Curry backing them up. And then after that, you got Mitchell Melton, Josh Mickens could factor in later in the game, depending on the score, of course. So no real changes there with that depth. Defensive tackle, interior guys, you got Tyleek as your starter and Mike Hall Jr. Then backing them up, you got Hero Canoe, Ty Hamilton. He'll get some serious snaps. So you won't see a lot of change, a lot of difference there at all. You could see Jaden McKenzie, Caden McDonald popping in here or there occasionally, but those guys didn't get a lot of snaps during the year, though. Linebacker, Eichenberg looks like he's going to start. Don't know about his health. He had that elbow injury at the end of the season. So if he's not 100%, I hope he doesn't play. You don't need to mess up your NFL, career and training for the draft and combine and all that. So Eichenberg will be your starter. Cody Simon will get some reps at Mike. And then at Will, Steel Chambers. And then you got CJ Hicks backing him up. So those are your four. You may later in the game see Arvell Reese at the Will. I think everybody wants to see CJ Hicks, right? But this is probably going to be Steele's last game, Tommy's last game. And then Gabe Powers, you could see him at Mike late in the game too. But keep an eye on Eichenberg's status as far as his health goes. Don't forget, we lost Reed Carrico to the portal. Nigel Glover is a guy we haven't seen at all at linebacker, so I don't know what's going on with him. He is technically a true freshman still. So, corners, Denzel is your starter, IGB your other starter. But backing them up, you got Calvin Simpson Hunt and Jermaine Matthews Jr., both freshmen. This is going to be interesting to see, if we can get a lead and, again, get deeper into the bench here. I would love to see Calvin Simpson Hunt, CSH, we'll call him, and Jermaine Matthews both on the field at the same time. See what that looks like, But IGB will be back next year anyways. We're hearing that Denzel Burke possibly could come back. He's announcing January 10th. So that would be nice. But I honestly would be shocked if he comes back. I know he said he wants to be a top 10 pick overall. But, dude, if you're first rounder, even if it's late first round, you got to freaking go. Nickel, the slot safety, Jordan Hancock will be your starter there. Another one that needs to think about what he's doing with the draft. But he looks like he's definitely playing in the bowl game. That's most important. And behind him, don't really have anybody. You could see Denzel Burke in there, maybe. I doubt it. Jermaine Matthews, you lost Jair Brown, Ryan Turner, and Cam Martinez. So you're probably going to have to use a regular corner to back up Jordan Hancock if something were to happen. And they got to cover one of the best slot receivers in the country, Luther Burden, so that's gonna be a tough matchup. And the Buckeyes don't typically travel with the corner and the receiver. Like they wouldn't have Burke follow Burden around. Burke would be your boundary corner. IGB is your field corner, and then the slot corner, safety, whatever, is going to cover whoever's there. So Buckeyes typically don't move that corner and have him follow a receiver around. It's just not there in their system. Safeties. Proctor back for one more ride with the boys. Last game as a Buckeye. Hopefully he'll knock somebody out, or at least silly. Not trying to call for injuries, but would be nice to see him, just mess somebody up once. It's been a while. And Sonny Styles at the strong safety. So Proctor at the free, Sonny at the strong. And then behind them, you got Malik Hartford and Jahad Carter. Probably see some of them, here or there, of course, depending. Lathan Ransom is out. Don't forget that. He's out with injury. And Kai Stokes is in the portal. You lost Cam Martinez, like I mentioned. So that's what you're looking at. You really have 4 experienced safeties, and Malik Hartford is very limited, and Jahad Carter very limited. These guys, their snap counts here. Hartford had 156, Jahad Carter 122. Most of his were early in the season. So, yeah. So that's your defense. It's a little thinner than you might like, but we'll see what happens. Just cross your fingers, toes, and everything else that nobody gets hurt in this game, especially a serious injury. So hopefully everybody gets off the field and we get the dub and get out. So that's all I got for you today. Talk to you tomorrow. Go Bucks.